Hi everyone, welcome to Project White Noise. This is Pedro Gonzalez. Right now I don't have Chuy with me, he's actually asleep. Right now I'm actually recording this podcast really early in the morning or really late in the night in my case. Right now it is 4:26 on the clock. Since I'm mostly a grave shift worker, I usually stay up at these hours. I usually go to sleep till 6 in the morning. Speaking about work and all that, this is what today's topic is going to be about. Now, I know this isn't a fully fledged podcast. This is just me talking right here to the mic by myself. Normally, I have my brother with me, and we also plan to have some guests over for next time, some friends of ours. And yeah, today's topic, I'm actually going to talk about like fast food horror stories. Well, the ones that I've had. See, back in the day, actually my first job, which was actually about 4 years ago, I worked at a McDonald's, and I have to say it was one of the, I wouldn't say the worst jobs. Well, yeah, it was one of the more worst ones that I've had compared to where I'm at now. I know I'm saying a lot of ums and all that. Level with me, guys. I'm trying my best to get rid of these ums. There we go again. I'm going at it again. Let's get back to the topic. I'm rambling. Fast food. I don't know if any of you guys have worked there. It's not the most glamorous job industry. It's actually one of the more shitty ones. Oh, sorry. There's a lot of dealing with customers, and especially if you're working at a fast food restaurant, customers can be, they can be dickheads. Sometimes they think that, the food's going to come out whenever they want it, and they don't realize that we have a huge backline of orders, especially if we're doing, a drive-through. Oh my God. There were times where the job got so bad, and I'm going to talk about those right now. I've worked at 2 McDonald's. The second one wasn't as bad. There was less, I guess you could say it was more organized than the first one. The managers kind of knew what they were doing in a way. I only stayed there for a couple months though, so maybe I wasn't exposed more to the shitty factor of it. The first one I was there for like 3 years, so I saw a lot of stuff happen. For me, honestly, the customers. I feel like they lack empathy towards fast food workers. They think that we're robots and all that. Sometimes they see that you're okay. Here we go. First story of the night, guys. I remember I was working a graveyard shift back in McDonald's, or the closing shift. I was working from 6 p.m. to 2 in the morning. After around 12, there's only 3 people on staff there. Either the person on the grill, person at the front taking orders, doing drive-through, and then the manager. Well, I was the person working up at the front. I would take orders. You would not believe that sometimes it gets so full there. I would sometimes have a backed up drive-through at 2 in the morning, right before I was about to clock out. And, I'm right there struggling. I'm trying to get these orders out. I'm not only just taking orders, but I'm also packing up the food, bagging it up, making sure they get everything while taking orders at the same time, naturally. And this is just, drive-through. And some people will come in through the front, lobby. And they'll be right there, and they notice that I'm struggling. And I see the look on their eyes, and they're just like, they just have that expression of like, that they still want their food. I get it, but at the same time, you guys are dicks. I'm the only person right there working, and you guys would say, oh, what about the manager? Why doesn't he come over here? Well, the manager, he would go on his smoke breaks occasionally. And sometimes I just have to be fending off for my own. So you can only imagine one person doing the job that normally in the regular afternoon, there's 2 people or at least 3. So, and there was also one occasion where I was the only person working. It was only like 10 minutes though. It wasn't like drawn out. It was 10 minutes. But there was no one in the grill, and no one, the manager wasn't there. It was just me. It was pretty slow though, so I'm guessing they went on their smoke break, whatever's. But then these people come in and they order 2 bacon clubhouses. And they were these people that would always come in during these hours, and they'd actually ordered a weird way. It was always the same kind of way. It was like no sauce, this and this and that. So I go looking for these guys. I thought, okay, maybe they're in the freezer. I looked out for them outside, but that was wasting too much time. I figured, you know what? I kind of know how to work grill a bit. I'll just make it on my own. And yeah, I did manage to make it on my own, but I was basically running the show for like 10 minutes. Yeah, that kind of sucked. Also, talking about managers, another story. I remember we had this manager. It's this old guy. I'm not gonna say names. I'm not saying names in any of this. I don't want to put people on blast or anything, especially since some people that are listening to this podcast know the stories that I'm talking about. So I don't want to put names or anything, just for the sake of anonymity. One of the managers we used to work with, it was this old Mexican guy. Oh my god, that guy was the most crankiest guy ever. Like, he wanted the food all the time, super, super fast. And this was the middle of the day. And we're going at 100%. I'm not saying we're full of lazy people there at work. He just like, where are the nuggets? Where are the nuggets? He had a thick-ass Mexican accent. And he'd be constantly pestering us. And this is a sad part right here. There are people who just, I don't know, I guess you could say they kiss ass and all that. Yeah, that happened too. Oh my god. If there's one thing you guys gotta know about McDonald's or any fast food in general, there's a lot of kiss assing in those places. The managers got their little favorites, and from what I remember, these people would get them like birthday cakes for them. For that manager, I'm like, wait, didn't this manager treat us all like shit? Yet here they are, like, they're all sad that he's leaving. Like, what? A lot of people were glad that he left. We got a better manager after he was booted out, so that was good. She was a much better person. Yeah, and also, you guys would expect that the horror stories would be mostly with the customers, and you guys are kind of right. The customers are, hard to work with sometimes. But I feel like most of the problems that happen at McDonald's or any kind of other fast food is really that there's a lot of drama with a lot of coworkers. Especially if these people are fresh out of high school. It's like they bring all that pent up drama that they lived through with high school, and they're bringing it to the workforce. It creates situations that are really stupid. I remember I was like one of the few people that knew most of the positions there, and I would always like want to do presenting, right? I'd always present because it's one of the easier spots to do. But it's like these girls that were at one place that I worked at, they would never want to present. They'd always like, oh, like, I don't want to present. And since they were cool with the manager or something, they'd always like send them to another spot and I'd have to present. So I felt like, it was like there was too much favoritism there. And I feel like it was a bit unfair at times. Especially because if you weren't the favorite, there was no way you'd become a manager there. Not that I would become one though, because it's a shitty environment. I'm pretty sure no one wants to be a manager. Even one of the managers from there, he would tell me, oh, it's not worth it being a manager there. Because, you get paid like what, just like maybe $1 more, maybe. And the responsibilities they have to take care of are a lot more. I do remember that when I had one of the customers come, and it was during one of those rushes that we had. It was during a rave, and I told the guy to give me 1 second because I was taking someone else's order through the drive-thru, and this guy he's in the drive-thru window. He goes absolutely ballistic on me. He gets so mad that he doesn't even like get his food or he doesn't pay for his food. He just drives by, and he comes back in later, and he starts making a scene to the manager, and like he asked the manager like, who is he, and the manager he puts me on blast or something. Fuck that guy. I'm like, come on, like, this is why I've told my brother too, and I'm gonna tell all of you guys here because this is an important lesson that everyone needs to know. You don't tell your coworkers everything about you. All right? Don't tell them don't trust in them, because half the time most of these guys, they're going to try to find ways to fuck you over. All right? Don't think that because you're cool with the manager that they're gonna stick by your side and take the heat off of you. No, sometimes the ones that you think are the closest ones will put you on they'll put you on the spot. So yeah, that's what happened to me. And ever since that time, I'm not gonna say I hold resentment anymore because I don't work there anymore. It's whatever's now. But during that same day, I was heated. I was just angry. Like, how could you do this? Like, I know. The customer. I think you guys always hear this thing. It's the customer is always right. No, the customer is 99% wrong. But they are the customer, and you're supposed to serve them. So if you're gonna be dealing with customers and all that, you gotta put up a smiley face and be nice and all that stuff. The problem is, in certain places, the customers are just bigger dickheads than in other places. And, McDonald's is basically the Walmart of fast food restaurants. So you can expect those kind of customers to come in. Oh, sorry, guys. I usually try not to take things like what they say personally because, it's just a job. And, if people are going to be rude like that to me, that's up to them. I don't want my day to be ruined. But yeah, there were times where I've had to deal with customers that would make threats or try to throw stuff at us. Oh, there was this one particular customer. I wouldn't call him an asshole, but he's something else. He'd always drop by our restaurant and he'd come through the drive-thru, right? And he'd ask for a strawberry drink. And this is McDonald's. When you say strawberry drink, we have like 4 different strawberry drinks. We had the strawberry lemonade, the Fanta strawberry, let's see, the strawberry shake, and I think we had the berry, I don't know if you'd consider the berry frappe a strawberry. Whatever. You guys get the point. We have multiple strawberry drinks. And, let's see. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that brief pause right there. So, we would ask, we would clarify, which strawberry drink do you want? But the guy would just speed past. He wouldn't even stop. He'd just come by to the drive-thru window and he'd just give us the change. It wasn't even dollar bills or anything. It was just change. And usually what he meant with strawberry drink was like a Fanta strawberry. Yuck, by the way. That stuff is so syrupy and gross. If you get strawberry Fanta on you, it's going to stick on you. It's pretty nasty. I've had to clean the strawberry soda, and I've always had to clean the Fanta one. Anyways, back to the story. Then after he'd get the change, he would just speed past to the second window. And here's the thing. Here's the advice that some of the older workers would tell me. Whenever that guy passed by, don't give him a lid or straw. Just give him the cup. And rumor was it that one time he threw the drink back at the person. So yeah, that guy was something else. He did come out. He came out on the news actually. When there was a fires going on over there near not Crestline, near Lido Creek. I've always called him the Wizard because he looks like this. He looks kind of like Gandalf, but without the wizard clothing and all that. So yeah, we had our particular customers, and yeah, that was mostly. Well, there was also several other little stories like I remember I was in drive-thru. It was during the evening around 7 p.m. or 8. There was this concert. By the way, you guys mentioned I'm mentioning concerts and raves a lot. It's because the McDonald's I used to work at was, I think it was a couple blocks away from the San Manuel Amphitheater. So, yeah. We'd always have big events there. And I would always work during the shifts that would have those events. So you'll see me mention that a lot. Oh yeah, back to that. There was a shooting. I heard a couple pops, like pop, 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 pop. And people got shot in our parking lot. And when I went on break and all that, there was a lot of people there, and they were not. I didn't go outside, by the way, to where the shootout was. There was a lot of cops there. I was still in the restaurant, but people were telling me, "Oh, people got shot out there." That's crazy. I've actually, heard a gun. Like I've heard people get shot in my own McDonald's. Usually those raves, I understand people like going to the raves and all that, but man, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I hated raves whenever they happened near my place. Because that meant I was gonna stay at least 4 hours later. There was a point where I worked from 6 p.m. to 6 in the morning at a McDonald's, and I was constantly taking orders, presenting, running. It was just a lot. Another horror story. I know I mentioned a lot of the coworkers and the customers, but now I'm gonna go on to the next part, the supervisors. Now, I don't know what was going on with our McDonald's. It must have been a really shitty one at that, because we'd have supervisors coming in every week. And there was one supervisor that would constantly come in. She was constantly telling us how to do our work and all that. And it would be, I guess you could say it was disrupting the flow of the workplace, because then all of a sudden our orders would go out slowly. This other guy also too, he would pull someone out, especially if they were like running or presenting or taking orders. He'd pull them out and make them clean the lobby or clean the restrooms. And he wanted it clean perfectly. So that person, they would take the time. And because of that, the rest of us had to basically make up for like the lost labor. It was just bad. And that's when I never actually noticed that until I started working during the day shift. And they would actually come during the day shift. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't see the purpose or point of taking a McJob so seriously, or anything that's like too minimum wage that's not gonna lead you to anywhere. I mean, yeah, you could take a career in that kind of field, but at what cost? Like, not saying at what cost, but how long will it take you to get to a position that's gonna be considered successful? How long? It could take years, and during those years, you can be doing something else that probably pays better. You can go get a trade, maybe finish your school, something like that. Why stay stuck working in a position, especially a field that's full of... I'm not bashing McDonald's specifically here, guys. I'm saying this is in general, fast food industry. So I know I'm saying McDonald's because that was my experience, but this could apply to any restaurant. People take those jobs way too seriously. And they don't even do such a good job at it while we're at it. Speaking of people who take the job too seriously and all that, in McDonald's we do have like when an order is made, it shows up on the queue screen, and usually one of the managers, she would have us wanna like press serve, which basically clears the order from the screen. If we leave the order on the screen for too long, it runs up the timers, and I'm guessing if the timers are too high, we get in trouble. So we'd have to once they come out, instantly press serve. And sometimes that would mess up the flow, because when we serve it, some of the people don't know what we're supposed to take out. Or they would think, oh, that order already got taken out, and they would just go on to the next one. And sometimes we'd have people waiting. So, by the way, guys, if you're waiting for your food and they're calling out people who already ordered after you, like a good amount, that means they probably served your order and someone assumed that your order was already taken out. So just giving you a heads up. They're basically trying to lie to the system. Like, why are we doing that? I understand fast food corporations, they want to basically show that their numbers are growing, like their numbers are going little to show that they're getting the food out quick. But that's all bullshit. They're not really taking out the food quicker than they ever have. It's just that they're tricking the system, making it look like we are taking out the food quickly. And sometimes we park cars. And here's the thing I don't like about parking cars. I understand it's convenient if the next person has like ordered an ice cream and you order like 2 family packs. I understand that. But sometimes I would honestly just park cars just for the sake of parking them, because we're supposed to get food out within 10 seconds. But let's say the person that's at the window ordered a McChicken and they're only going to wait at most 50 seconds. Like 50 seconds, under a minute. But yet we park them, and now it's going to take them longer to get the food. It's just ways to trick the system so their numbers could look better in front of their own supervisors. I'm going to give you guys all tips, especially if you guys aren't working in fast food. if you guys are going to work in it, don't even take it seriously. Because most of you guys are not going to make careers in fast food. Nor will you guys want to. Get yourselves a trade or specialize into another kind of field. And, try to drop it as quick. It took me a while because in a way I kind of got too comfortable. But once I started like getting out of that, and, being shown other options, I have to say I'm actually happy with my decisions. I mean, now I work as a security guard now. I like it much better than working at McDonald's. True, I do have to stay up really late, but I've gotten used to it, and I prefer this job way more, and I get full hours as well. I really like it. Um, you know, when you work in fast food, you assume that all jobs are gonna be like that bad, and not necessarily. No, I mean, sure, there are jobs that are worse, like warehouse jobs. I worked at a warehouse just for a brief period. It's not easy. It's hard work. That's hard work. I mean, true, fast food work is annoying and it grinds your gears. But at least it doesn't leave you with your bones and your muscles feeling tired after like a 10-hour shift. Yeah, that's a thing, guys. I guess this podcast, I wanted it to be like more like, based on fast food horror stories. But really, I ended up talking more about like my history, like my experiences there. There's some good experiences. I've met good customers there, people who knew me, and in a way, it kind of allows you to experience a lot of the bullshit out there. It's a good eye opener. But I'm just saying, don't take of it as a career. Don't take the job too seriously. Because the job is really meaningless. I mean, you're just making burgers. Like, we're making crappy burgers for shitty people. Something like that. Someone told me that. So I would say don't take the job too seriously. Find a job that suits you better. And try to achieve the things that you want to achieve. Don't just put them to the side. I know with this podcast and with all the videos, I have put this aside for too long. And I remember when I was young, I had so much fun making videos. It was really fun. Even if they were like, they weren't well thought out. We didn't actually make scripts or anything. It was just me, my brother, sometimes my cousin. We just grab that camera and my tripod and we'd just start recording videos just out of the blue. And I'm not gonna lie, I missed that. I missed always having to like make a video like, oh, let's go make this video. It was a way for us to express ourselves. And for many years, I haven't done something like this. I haven't shown any initiative. I always felt like, oh, I have to make it look professional. I have to do this. It was only until recently that I said, you know what, fuck it all. I'm going to do it with what I have. I didn't want to put this off for too longer. So, I know, I'm going to close it right here. So, thank you guys for taking the time to, hear me out today. I know this wasn't like one of the main podcasts, with me and my brother. We are working on one, by the way. It'll be coming out soon. But I wanted to give you guys, a bit more insight about, what's been going on through my head. And occasionally I will make these impromptu podcasts every now and then. I think between the regular podcasts. And, just to give you guys more of a sense of why I'm doing all this. Why we're starting this project. And what are our goals and our potential ideas, sorry. Alright guys, we're going to close it up right there. Don't forget to keep us subscribed. Go ahead and check out our videos, which are only 2 by the way, but we'll be making more. I promise you on that. Alright guys, so don't forget to check us out on Project White Noise at YouTube. We are also going to be setting up an Instagram, and I'll be posting some of our podcasts there, if possible. I know we have the IGTV, so I'll be posting them there. Other than that, just give us a check out, and we'll see you guys on the next podcast. Peace.